Hey guys, it's Sharon here, and I'm doing a sort of different video, but it's something that I want to kind of do as a series as time goes on, maybe twice a month, you know, mid-month and at the end of the month, or once a month at the end of the month. We'll just have to see how it goes. But I see a lot of Hobonichi flip-throughs, and so I thought I would share mine. Now, I am in the Hobonichi Cousin, which is the bigger size, and I have this really, really pretty blue cover. And, yeah, so this is my first time diving into Hobonichi land, and mine by far does not look anything as pretty as some of the ones I've seen out there, but you know what, your Hobonichi, it's not really a competition or contest or anything, and you just kind of do it up the way you want to do it, and, you know, that's how I look at it. Now, as I said, I have this pretty blue cover on this one, and it's the Hobonichi Cousin. I am also using a Hobonichi Weeks, which I have, on just I keep just kind of on the front, in the front of my Midori Traveler's Notebook. And my Midori, you know, it's not really set up anything special or anything. I just pretty much use it as a journal and notes and stuff. But anyway, this is the Hobonichi Weeks, and I tried to get it to match up as best I could with this blue and then this blue here. But it's a little bit different, but that's okay. So I use the Hobonichi Weeks for my purse planner, and I keep that inside my Midori and inside my purse a lot. So anyway, this Hobonichi, I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of it. And I just keep some little papers and stuff in here that I'm going to put in there at some point. But it has a monthly section, and I'm not really using the monthly section right now. I'm trying to decide like what I want to use it for. I just, you know, because I'm not using it as a planner. This Hobonichi is pretty much a journal for me. So I'm not really taking advantage of the monthly sections at this time. I might use it to track like what I upload to YouTube and when I write on my blog and stuff. I don't know. Because I've actually got another planner that I use for that purpose, but I'll think of something because I hate to waste this paper. I mean, this has the delicious, wonderful Tomoe River paper. So, but I did kind of sort of decorated the corners in January a little bit and so forth, so I sort of used it, but not really. And then they've also got a weekly one too. They've got the weekly pages, and I really don't know what I'm going to use those for, because for planning purposes, I mean, you get your days kind of across the page like this, and then the lines are just really, really tiny to actually put events and things in, so I might just use those pages for testing purposes and stuff, so I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the meat of things. We'll go ahead and get on to January 1st. Now, for every month, you know, there's a little cover page, I guess, for each month, and being new to this, like, I kind of misproportioned some of my things that I put in here, like when I printed them out, so I took advantage of this little two-page thing for January 1st. You know, New Year, I felt I could get away with that. But anyway, for January 1st, as we can see, I was reading Karen Marie Moning's The Dark Highlander, and I was journaling about that a little bit, and then I tried to draw like a little, I forgot what I was trying to draw, and I messed it up, so I just took my colored pencils. I was using the Prismacolor color pencil, Prisma Art colored pencils at the time that this day rolled around, and I just kind of colored in like a little square or whatever. And then down here, I tried to draw like a little excuse for a smoke detector, because our battery in our smoke detector was going off, and so I wrote beep beep because it kept beeping at us and it was driving me crazy. But that's my sorry little excuse for a smoke detector. I am not an artist by any means. I cannot draw to save my soul, but anyway. And then I threw a little bit of washi down here. And then on this side over here, on my gaming channel, on my Sims channel, I had uploaded part, I can't see it in this camera, part 14 of the Quest for Supremacy Challenge on my Sims channel. And then pretty much all day, well, a lot of the day, I was watching Twilight Zone episodes. I'm sure that they still do it, but they will sometimes run a Twilight Zone marathon on the Sci-Fi channel. And I used to watch that a lot, but then I ended up, I own all of the Twilight Zone series, so I just watch that on my iPad or the DVDs or something that I have, and I don't have to have a little sci-fi marathon or anything. I can just watch my own and pick and choose what episodes I want to watch and without the commercials. Thank you very much. So I journaled about that. So that was January 1st. That was my New Year's Day. And then over here on January 2nd, I finished up Karen Marie Monning's The Dark Highlander. And I had a coffee stamp, so, you know, we were drinking quite a bit of coffee. So I stamped this, and then I colored in the coffee cup, and then I put a little music note sticker here. And I just kind of journaled about that. And then here, we started our choir rehearsals, so we're doing some selections from ABBA. So I journaled about that and, you know, was saying that our choir director had picked some fun music for that. And then we were drinking some more coffee before our rehearsal that day. And it says, I want to try to get this right. It says, Lord, give me coffee to change the things I can change, and wine to change or to accept the things I can't. So I saw that stamp on Amazon a while back ago, and I had to get that because I just thought it was so funny because I like wine and I like coffee. And then on the way to our choir rehearsal, we just stopped in at the drive-thru at McDonald's and grabbed a sandwich, Big Mac attack, because, you know, we didn't have time to cook before we left. All right, so January 3rd. Now, I found that this stamp, I found that the dye inks, when you use dye inks in this, I found that they bleed through. So what I did for January 3rd, this is a picture of my beautiful Duchessa journal that I use, that I'm currently using, which I've shown this in other videos. It looks like this, with the music notes on it, leather cover. So I found a picture of that, and I put that in there. And then again, I had choir rehearsals, so we did another Big Mac at McDonald's. And also, now this is where my poor drawing skills come into play here. I was knitting a little bit. I tried to draw some knitting needles. They look a little drunk and wobbly, but you know, that's supposed to be knitting needles. And I put knitting down there so I could. So when I was looking through this, if I were to look at this later on, and just go, what the heck was I trying to draw? So I put knitting down there, and then I tried to draw a skein of yarn, but it looks more like a lopsided barbell. But anyway, I tried. So I was doing some knitting that day and so forth. And then here was just kind of a lazy day, and so I watched some YouTube videos on journals and planners and stuff, because I'm still, at the time, I still didn't have everything I wanted to get for 2016 set up, so I was, you know, trying to get some inspiration and stuff. So, and you know, besides that, I love watching journal and planner videos and stuff. Anyway, so I tried to draw a little iPad, because I was watching that on my iPad. You know, just kind of curled up in bed, lazy day. And then I was listening to Suspense, which is an old-time radio show. Now, old-time radio is old-time radio. Basically, they were programs that were on the radio back in the day before TV started, and when TV was in its infancy. You know, we're talking like in the 30s and 40s, and some of them were even in the 50s. And we love, my husband and I love old-time radio shows. So I was listening to one called Suspense, which are 30 minutes of, it's usually a drama or some kind of a mystery, and they've even had like a sci-fi based ones, or, you know, it's basically a thriller show. So I really love Suspense. And then John brought home some cashews, which I love cashews, but we don't get them very often because they're kind of expensive around here. But he brought some home for me because I told him that I'd been in the mood to have some, so that was really nice of him. And then on Wednesday the 6th, I had to go to the dentist. I had to get a cleaning, and then had to get a filling for one of my cavities. And it's not a fun experience for me, because when I go to the dentist to get a filling, and when they have to numb me up, they end up having to give me quite a bit of extra, because I don't numb up real easily. And so they always end up having to give me like 4 times the normal the normal numbing solution to get me numbed up. And so pretty much like the whole day, the right side of my face was all droopy, and I was talking kind of funny, and oh my gosh, it was, I don't like going to the dentist anyway, but when I have to get a filling and stuff, it makes it even worse. And then, so then I came home and, I just, I wasn't much good for anything else, so I came home and watched some more, planner videos on YouTube. And, alright, it seems like every time I film a video, I get a phone call, and it was a stupid telemarketer. Oh, I hate that. Alright, so anyway, after I got home from the dentist, I watched more planner videos on YouTube, and this page I'm not really happy with how it turned out. I just took some of my brush pens and just wrote some names of different planners, like I got Filofax, Kiki K, Sugar Paper Planner, all that stuff here. So, I'm not really happy with how that turned out, but it is what it is. This down here, I listened to some more old-time radio after I got tired of watching videos, and the one that I was listening to here was Dark Fantasy, and that is kind of a fantasy series with some dark undertones, I guess, dark for back in that day. It's pretty tame compared to what we have now, but, they considered it sort of like, kind of scary at the time, and so I was listening to that. Over here, and it kind of glares a little bit, it's a picture. It says Journals Galore, and this is where I filmed my blank journal collection. So I took a picture of the journals on my shelf, and then I tried to draw a little camera for filming purposes, and then I just journaled about that a little bit. Now I use, when I journal, like when I actually write in here, I use fountain pens in here because, oh my gosh, this paper just takes so well to fountain pens, and obviously you guys know I love my fountain pens, so I do that. That was Thursday, and then Friday here, we didn't really do much. It was again kind of a lazy day, so I was thinking about like all of our dogs, past and present, and so I just kind of colored in like little circles with my I think these were still my Prismacolors, because I also got Faber-Castell polychromos, and I think it came in either this day or something. So I think this page might have been the Prismacolors, and then this page might have been the Faber-Castells, if memory serves me correctly. I should have put a picture of that in. But anyway, these were all of our dogs. We have Charlie, Buddy, Lady, Abby, Sheena, Turbo, Buddy was a beagle that my husband had before we met. Lady was his second beagle. And then, of course, there's Charlie, then Abby, and, of course, Caleb. And then we have Sheena and Turbo. So these were all of our dogs that we've had, current dogs, and then dogs that we've had in the past. So I just colored in the circles and put in their names. Over here, it says Happy Weekend. And, again, I was just listening to some old-time radio. And so I colored in some circles and just put in some of my favorite programs, like we have Inner Sanctum, Dimension X, which is a sci-fi show, X-1, which is a sci-fi show, Suspense, I talked about that, Dragnet, you guys might be a little familiar with that, it's a cop show. So, again, I just did that, because I love my old-time radio. And then on Sunday, I didn't feel like putting any pictures or anything in, so I just kind of journaled about that day. We actually were gone quite a bit of the day to a meeting that we had with Lions Club related. I'm in the Lions Club, very active member, so we had a coordinators meeting for our state foundation that we do. And so then on this day, I got out my Geometric Shapes coloring book and was coloring in a page with my Faber-Castell color pencils. Over here, I was reading Stephen King's The Drawing of the Three, which is part of the Dark Tower series. And then I pasted a Lions Club logo, which I should have put over here, but I made a mistake and put it here. I was actually catching up on 2 pages in one day, so I got a little confused. I got a little confused a little bit. And then over here, I printed out something that says Color My World, because I was coloring. So that's Monday. And then Tuesday was my birthday. So, my daughter got me a blue Pilot Metropolitan, or turquoise Pilot Metropolitan fountain pen. This is happy birthday. And then I just kind of journaled about what I did that day. Not really much, we got kind of snowed in because it was really, really crappy weather that day. I was supposed to go to a meeting that night, but it got canceled, thank goodness, because it was windy and blowy and, oh my goodness. So that was my birthday. And then on the 13th, which was a Wednesday, I had finished up with the drawing of the 3, and then I had started the Gunslinger and finished that up over the couple of days here. Now, I had already read the Dark Tower series before, but I wanted to revisit it a little bit because I'd forgotten some of the, I remembered like most of the main events, but I'd forgotten some of the little nuances and stuff because it'd been so long since I read it. And I know I'm reading it out of order because the Gunslinger is first, and they got the drawing of the 3, and then so forth. So, I read the drawing of the 3 first because I enjoyed that book, but then I went back and backtracked to the Gunslinger, and then this is the Wastelands. The Wastelands is after the drawing of the 3, and then up here, I don't know if you can see it real well, but this is the I'll try to bring it up a little bit because it's kind of glary. This is the Visconti Hall of Music that had been just released, and I really loved it, so I ordered one as kind of a late birthday present for myself. And I did a video on that, and you can see it on my channel if you go there. I'll put a link there for that video if you're interested in seeing that. But I did do a video on this pen when it actually came, and so I just journaled about all of that a little bit. Over here, this is a Thursday. This is the 14th, and I got a picture of Alan Rickman and then one of him as Severus Snape. I had found out that he had died that day, and so I was really, really bummed about that because I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and I loved him in the movies. To me, he just totally embodied Severus Snape, and so I journaled about that. Pretty much, dedicated the whole day to that. So I was really, really sad about that. I really was, and a lot of my Harry Potter friends were too, so yeah. And then on Friday the 15th, I drank quite a bit of coffee. We got up and had our espresso in the morning, like John and I do before he goes off to work. So I journaled about that, and then we had Poor Boys for dinner that night. And then I got out my geometrics coloring book and colored another page while I was listening to my Stephen King book. So that is January 1st through 15th, and I will be back at the end of January or early February to do the second part of January. I hope you guys enjoyed this little flip through of my Hobonichi, and I plan to do this at least once or twice a month, as I said in the beginning of this video. So if you enjoyed this, let me know, and I'll do more of this kind of thing. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more like this, and hit the like button if this video was something you like. And we'll talk to you guys all later. Okay, bye guys.